Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 1025. This is your host, Danny, and joining me for this special episode is Paris, man. What's going on, Paris?
Hey, good morning, Danny. Good morning, everyone that's hanging out here on the podcast and joining us live on Twitch. Quarantine day, I don't know. That's where we are.
Is this week 7 or week 8?
I was talking about this with my wife the other day because I was trying to figure out how long the kids have been out of school, and I want to say it was March 13th was the day that my company was like, stay home. So I think I've been home since then.
Huh. Okay. You know what I did yesterday? I walked. Actually, I called you, Paris. I was walking from 110th Street. I went all the way to 42nd and walked to Times Square. I just wasn't like in a good mood yesterday. So I'm like, let me just walk. Let me listen to some podcasts, some music, and just work out, Yeah. So that was a good couple hours just walking, and then I came back on train. But it was good. I might do that again today. But so I went to Times Square. There was a lot of people. I thought it was going to be completely empty. There's more people out, man, now in the street. So, but social distancing, everybody wearing masks. There was cops around too. So they're very strict when it comes to wearing masks here in New York City. I don't know how it is in California, but you can't go to no restaurant, no grocery store, no supermarket. If you don't have a mask, they won't let you in. So that's good, so. All right, so we have a lot of things to talk about in this episode, man. A lot of things. Look, you hear me. I'm kind of excited. One of the reasons is I drank for the first time in over 2 months. So I was drinking, playing a lot of Streets of Rage 4 last night. Make sure to get that game. But before we start our conversation, head over to Gamertag Radio. Listen to our past episodes. Also, you can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. Subscribe, follow us, post a review. That will help us out a lot. Also, if you'd like to donate and help us on the show, we will buy some equipment later on to upgrade, better mics, better lighting, all that stuff. So to donate, go to donate.gamertagradio.com. That's donate.gamertagradio.com. And also, if you would like to be part of fan mail, if you have questions and comments, here's how you can contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, so I'm going to read this first. I think this is a very important tweet. And this, I think we're going to start the show like this. So 9 hours ago, my friend here, Paris, tweeted, just had The Last of Us 2 spoiled for me. Stay safe, everyone. Well, stay safe out there. And you put the Michael Jordan meme. So, Paris, how in the world, knowing that The Last of Us 2 leak is out there, how in the world it got spoiled, man? What happened?
So, it's partly my fault. It's partly clickbait title that got me. So again, It's quarantine. I got nothing else to do. I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube and reading a lot of Reddit and all that, right? So there was a YouTube title from a YouTuber who I've watched before. I'm not going to out anyone or anything because, again, I feel like this is partly my fault. I saw the title of the video, and it did say about The Last of Us 2, but I thought the title made me believe that we're talking about the fact that they caught the person, right? Allegedly.
Yeah.
Who did it, and just the news surrounding the leak and how it could affect, things for PlayStation in the future. That's what the title told me. Let me watch this. Let me see what this person thinks about it, right? Yo, I'm watching it and he's going on and on about it. And then how you kind of get distracted and you're doing other stuff and and at the same time you're halfway watching. He's talking and I'm like, did he just say what I think he just said? Crap.
Big major mistake.
Yeah, he just spoiled the game for me. Now, he didn't spoil the ending. I have no idea what that is, but he spoiled some key plot points that now I potentially know. Are they true? I don't know, but I'm assuming they are because from what he was saying. So now I know some stuff about the game that I did not want to know. Is it going to stop me from getting The Last of Us 2? Of course not. I'm still going to get it when it comes out, and I'm still going to play it and judge it myself. But it sucks that this happened. This is actually very similar to Avengers Endgame, where I didn't get the entire movie spoiled for me, but I halfway got spoiled that Iron Man and Black Widow were going to die because some a-hole was DMing me that and just said Iron Man and Black Widow. So then it was in my head like, crap, these are probably the two people that are going to die. Didn't ruin the movie for me, but that was just something I knew. So this is kind of similar. So again, the lesson learned out of here is if you don't want to know anything about it, especially on social media, obviously mute all the words that you need about The Last of Us 2. Be very careful about what YouTube videos you're watching. Be very careful what Reddit threads you go into as well, or you might find out something that you want to know. This overall is why it sucks that the game leaked early. However it did, Sony obviously is saying that it wasn't a Sony employee or a Naughty Dog employee. We can debate that all day. At this point, it does not matter. The information is out there, so just tread lightly.
Yeah, and also you have to be careful when somebody does a live stream of your favorite show, your favorite podcast. There's gonna be idiots in the comments posting spoilers just to mess with everybody that's watching. You know what I'm saying? So just be careful. All right. Anything else from that, Paris? You good with that?
No, I'm good.
You good? Okay. So everybody, stay safe. All right. So Paris, I think we should start this conversation because this week is a big week for us gamers starting into what's going to happen next gen. So Microsoft announced that on May 7th, I believe in the morning, there's going to be a special digital stream inside the Xbox about Xbox Series X. But I think for this one, it's all about third party. All the partners is going to be part of the launch of Xbox Series X. So we have a lot of crazy theories of what we think is going to happen and so on. But Paris, your thoughts first about Microsoft just doing this now, May 7th.
All right, before I go into that, I want to address one thing because I saw this a lot on social media over the past week because I've made my opinion known via social media already what I think about this Xbox event, and I've seen this recurring comment that's coming in. So to people that listen, I just want to say, we're not talking about PlayStation because there's nothing about PlayStation to discuss. When there's something about PlayStation that we can discuss, guess what? Going to have that same energy for PlayStation that we have for Xbox right now. So I just have to say that because I think it's ludicrous that people are getting upset that we're showing interest in Xbox right now. I am 46 years old. Please, I'm not a child. We don't do the console war things, right? We talk about what interests us and what excites us. And if there was PlayStation news, guess what? We'd be discussing it right now. I mean, obviously, I just talked about The Last of Us 2. It was a negative piece of news, which I wish I didn't have to talk about, but we did. So trust me, when the PlayStation reveal happens, we're going to be all over it. We're going to be excited about it. I'm extremely fascinated to see what their games lineup is going to be, and we'll discuss it then. All right, that's done. This Xbox event.
Yes.
Xbox event. I'm very excited for this. Very, very excited. The fact that, this happened, people misunderstood this. The fact that Xbox is doing a partner reveal to debut the gameplay for the Series X, to me, says they have extreme confidence in what they're going to show. They're literally saying, guess what? We have so much content. we need 2 events to show it. So we have so much first party content. We're just going to have an event just for that. And look, it can be argued, should you show the first party stuff first or should you show the third party stuff, later, combine it, whatever. You can argue that all you want. But I look at it from this standpoint. They're coming out with this third party event because guess what? Their partners want to start talking about their games. They're not on Microsoft's schedule. Again, no rules. We're in the wild, wild west at this point. There's no E3. So who knows how information is going to come out? Clearly, Microsoft wants to hold off on showing their cards, on showing their games. But their partners want to show stuff. And maybe there's marketing deal agreements and things like that. So they compromise and were like, well, guess what? Let's just have an event where we debut the Series X games, but it's going to be all third party stuff. And maybe they tease Halo or Fable or something at the end or whatever, but the majority of this inside Xbox is going to be third party stuff. Again, be excited about that because it means that whether ultimately the first party games from Xbox are great or not, they sure seem to think they are. I mean, and we'll talk about Assassin's Creed in a little bit, but as soon as the Assassin's Creed reveal happened, Aaron Greenberg immediately on Twitter talking about this event and letting everybody know it was a partner event. I look at it as a good thing. I don't see this as a negative thing that Xbox doesn't have any games, so they're trying to hide behind third party. That's ridiculous. But the fact that they're confident enough to use us, because we know Assassin's Creed is going to be a part of this third party partner reveal event, to have Assassin's Creed be the game that shows off the Series X, or potentially Cyberpunk 2077 is there, or whatever third party games we wind up seeing. I'm sure EA is probably going to show Madden, FIFA, things like that, right? Running on the Series X. This now frees third party to openly start talking about their next generation games and show off gameplay from it, because now the Series X gameplay has been revealed, and then Microsoft can take their time and show Halo and Forza and Fable and everything else when they're ready, which it sounds like, shout out to Rand and Jez. It sounds like July is when that's going to happen. But again, rumor and speculation, we don't know. We just know that Microsoft officially has said it'll be the summer. So overall, I'm excited for it. I'm really looking forward to it. We're obviously going to stream the event live when it happens on Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific, and we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, make sure to watch it live with us here, man, and check out our reaction about that. But yeah, Paris, I think that's a great thing, because everybody's been saying this during the whole generation, is the lack of first party games from Microsoft. Compare the games that came out this generation to the 360, I feel like there was a lot more first party games during the 360, and there was stuff too from like Japan. Remember Blue Dragon, The Lost Odyssey? There was a lot of cool games, man, that I like. There was first person shooters, RPGs, all that stuff. So I'm happy that they are splitting the 2 events. One all about third party, and the next one will be 100% first party. Now, you saying that they might tease Halo and all that, I hope that doesn't happen. Save that for the second stream and just focus on their partners. And that's the thing that we need to talk about, is what games do we think we might see during the events and during the event of here in May. So I think, of course, Assassin's Creed, we talked about that. I know you mentioned that on Twitter. I personally think we might see maybe Dying Light, the new Dying Light game. I think that will be a good thing. Just show that. Cyberpunk, of course. I think that's obvious. But what else besides that? Besides the sports games, anything new from third party? Are we going to see anything from Ubisoft besides just Assassin's Creed? You know what I'm saying? So, what are your predictions on that, man?
Well, yeah, it's tough to say, obviously, because everything's been kept so close to the vest. Like I mentioned, EA, Madden, FIFA, those kind of sports games. Clearly, I'm hoping we see some Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay there. That would make me happy. I would assume no with Call of Duty, because as far as we know, PlayStation still has the marketing deal for that. So either Activision will do their own debut, or it'll be a part of a PlayStation 5 reveal would be my guess for a game like that. New IPs, it's hard to speculate on what it could be. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, Bethesda potentially could have something new that we see there.
Bethesda.
Yeah,
You're
2K,
right. Mm-hmm.
Could have something like NBA, again, sports game, but NBA could be there. I could see something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Obviously Sega could have something, and it's been long rumored that they are partnered up and have something going on. Obviously with Phantasy Star, no thing. Now I'm gonna give you my Miss Leo. Miss Leo.
Oh,
comes back.
Miss Leo time, Miss Leo.
Hey, darling, this is certified psychic Miss Leo. The guys at Gamertag Radio have pulled me out of retirement to give them some free readings. So I've been using the power of the tarot cards to look into the future, baby. You hear me?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
And this isn't anything crazy, and I've already tweeted it, and it's just so funny I love how people get excited and mad about one person's opinion. You don't have to agree with me. It's just what I think. I can speculate too. But okay, May 7th, right?
Yeah.
Like I said to you offline, what else is happening on May 7th?
Red Dead, right?
That's right.
Red
Dead Redemption 2 comes to Game Pass on May 7th. They're doing this partner reveal on May 7th. And no, I do not think Rockstar is going to debut Grand Theft Auto 6. What I think is we're going to see Red Dead Redemption 2 also running on Series X with quote unquote updated features, 4K, native 4K, 60 frames per second, the potential of ray tracing. I don't think so, but probably running at ultra settings, things like that. And they're going to say, and oh, by the way, it's available right now on Game Pass. So this does a couple things. It is a marketing chip, which obviously we should talk about Game Pass as well, but it's a marketing chip for them to get new people to subscribe to Game Pass because, hey, obviously Red Dead Redemption 2 is available right now, but it's also another reason to say, and oh, by the way, you start playing it now, don't worry, when you get your Series X, smart delivery, you're good. So I personally think this is part of this reveal overall is about smart delivery. I think that's going to be the main theme of this event, that any quote unquote cross-gen game that they show available on Xbox One, available on PlayStation 4, will also be available on Series X with updated features, and you don't have to spend another dime. There you go. Knock yourself out. It'll be their smart delivery, because obviously when they first announced this, CD Projekt Red was all over it to let you know when you get Cyberpunk, you're good. You're going to get the updated version of Cyberpunk on Series X, no problem. Assassin's Creed obviously has also said that. I can't imagine them having a third-party company come on that stage or via stream, whatever you want to call it at this point, and not have smart delivery for their games. It is going to be a very common theme for them, which is also going to put pressure on their competition to do the same. But we can get into that at a later date. So again, that's my wacky theory for the event.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of partnership announcements of games that's going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. It might say it's available right now or it's coming out soon. I think that we're going to see a lot of that announcements too. Also about Sega, which, I mean, I've been talking about this now for like months, but here's two games that I think, and this is my Miss Leo predictions, aka Let Me Dream, but I feel like we might see a new Jet Set Radio. I think that would be good. Also, a new Panzer Dragoon. I can see that happening too for Xbox. So, yeah, besides that, I think that's about it for my predictions, Paris. I don't know what else.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to say.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's very hard to say.
It's very, very hard, especially with the whole partnership. Now, is it too early for BioShock? The new BioShock? Is it too early to show some?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think this is too early, which even if they were to just tease it, I don't think this is the event to tease it. I think they would hold off. This is something where they're showing actual gameplay. Like, this is Series X. And so what is a CGI teaser of BioShock going to do? And you got to think BioShock, when it does drop, is probably going to be next gen only. I don't see it being on Xbox One or PlayStation 4 because earliest we see it is probably 2022, something like that. It'll be a while.
Yeah. Also, we're probably going to see a lot of partnerships also from studios from Japan too, Paris. I think This is like
Yes.
the perfect time to announce games that's going to be available on Xbox Series X, and also, again, smart delivery, which is going to be the key word during that whole event. Show that. And maybe we'll see a partnership. I mean, we talked about, Paris, a partnership between Microsoft and Sega. A lot of the Sega titles is going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. I could see definitely that happen too.
You want to jump into the Game Pass stuff? Let's jump into that.
Yeah. Go for it. Let's go.
Yeah. So obviously the news came out. Some financials from Microsoft came out this week, and from the gaming standpoint, I think they're saying they got 90 million people active on Xbox Live. Obviously that's great, but to me the big thing that came out of that was they have 10 million Game Pass subs, and that's impressive at this point, at this stage of Game Pass's quote unquote life. The fact that they have 10 million, hey, whether they did it with the dollar deal, whatever. I mean, I know you and we took advantage of that. So I'm locked into Game Pass Ultimate until August of 2022 as an example, because I had the Xbox Live Gold membership. So it just upgraded. That's great. The point isn't how you got people there. It's how do you keep people there? That's what I look at. And Phil Spencer later came out, in a blog post that he had the next day. Project xCloud is going to be a part of Game Pass. We don't know if it's just the standard Game Pass Ultimate, whatever, but that's going to link into Game Pass. Like I just mentioned, you're seeing a Red Dead Redemption 2 come to Game Pass. We obviously know their entire first party lineup, day and date, is a part of Game Pass. Gears Tactics, as an example. You got Game Pass, you go play it right now. If you're on PC, it'll come to Xbox One later on. A Flight Simulator obviously is coming on and on for the first party stuff. But when I look at third party, I'm telling you, publishers looked at that and they started salivating, because here's what Game Pass can now start doing. And let's take Red Dead again as an example. It's not going to be in Game Pass forever. Grand Theft Auto 5, as an example, is now leaving Game Pass. It's not there. But they can now use this really as almost as a marketing tool. Third-party publishers, like, let's say they have a game, and here's an example I was saying during the week. Bethesda, Fallout 76, dumpster fire at launch. We all know that. But they have worked to fix a lot of those problems. A new expansion, I think, has come out, and the game is in a lot better place than it was when it initially came out. It is in a very playable state. People that are playing Fallout 76 right now are liking it. They really are. I mean, bugs here or there, but forget that. Bethesda, in my opinion, should put Fallout 76 in Game Pass. Maybe that happens Thursday. We don't know. It very well could happen. But you put Fallout 76 into Game Pass for 6 to 9 months, right? Now you're giving people who are already a sub, I wasn't going to buy the game, but as a part of Game Pass, they go check it out now. They start liking Fallout 76. They get invested into it. It leaves Game Pass. Guess what? You want to keep playing? Now you buy it at a discounted price and you keep going. This now boosts Fallout 76 population. You get more people into that ecosystem, actually, and they can judge for themselves. So that's a great thing that third-party publishers can now start doing. They can leverage that. And obviously the marketing and the financial terms and all that is way above our pay grade on how that works out. But it gives more incentive. And from Xbox, it's a great incentive because it boosts their library. It gives people more incentive to keep being a subscriber into Game Pass, because they know not only are they getting the first party lineup, there's going to be big Miss Gem third party games that are also going to be a part of it as well. Indie titles obviously are going to get a boost being in there. And again, the financial terms above our pay grade. It just, as gamers, be excited for it is the point I'm trying to make, because everyone wins in this scenario. How do you lose? You spend $10 or $15 a month, you're in, you get access to all these games. Third parties, if they have a game that struggled or they want to kind of give it a second life, like The Witcher 3 is another example where CD Projekt Red threw it back into Game Pass. So there was a whole new audience of people that start playing The Witcher 3 again because it was a part of Game Pass. It's not a bad thing. It is a great thing for the industry, in my opinion. And that's why I tweet about it so much. And I'm so excited about it, because I saw the potential of what it was a few years ago. And we're starting to see that come to fruition now. Now, the big thing, the caveat in all of this with Microsoft comes down to one thing: games that matter. I don't give a crap how cheap it is. I don't give a crap how many games are a part of it. If their first party lineup is lacking and you don't care to play any of their games, what's the point of Game Pass then? You know, so again, it's on them, and they know this. They've openly been talking about this, that they know they have to beef up their first party, their internal games lineup. And again, this is where I think the fact that you see them separating their reveal event into two separate things says a lot. That they are confident enough with the first party lineup they have coming over the next probably 2 to 3 years is strong enough that we don't need third party. We can have a full event just dedicated to that. And we think that alone will get fans excited to not only want to subscribe to Game Pass, but also buy a Series X if they so choose, Series S, whatever, play it on their PC. So again, we all win. I love it. But I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, I think now I mentioned this to Paris and Paris called me crazy, but what are the chances of a third party company releasing a game day one also available on Game Pass? For example, Streets of Rage 4, which is a smaller title, of course. That's a Sega game, and they worked with other studios to create that game, but it was available day one on Xbox Game Pass. But if you were a Nintendo Switch owner or PlayStation or PC, well, actually the PC, if you're Game Pass, you could also get that through there too. But if you're a PlayStation owner or a Nintendo Switch, you have to buy it. So what are the chances of that coming up? I could see that in the future because now Microsoft could say, look, we have 10 million subscribers. And like you said, Paris, you download the game and it'll be there for, let's say 3 months. It'll be there, right? The company will remove it. You like the game so much, now you have to buy it at a discounted price. Or if there's a DLC available out that only the owners of that game could get for free or whatever, you need to buy that. You need to buy the official game. You know what I'm trying to say? So no, I can see that happening in the future. Also, I also think that, in the future, I can see Microsoft having marketing deals with companies that, with those companies, that game is also going to be available on Game Pass on day one when it launches. And the reason is, remember, people also got to understand, every time you download a game through Xbox Game Pass, those companies are getting royalties too. They're getting paid for every download. It's not like, oh, it's free and that's it. It's the same thing like when you watch a movie on Netflix. Netflix has a deal with all these studios, and every time you stream it, you get that company gets paid. Same thing with music. When you stream songs through Apple Music and Spotify and other places, studios, the music label will get paid. So I could see that happening now. Paris, Microsoft could brag about 10 million subscribers, and it's still going to go up. They could brag about that and convince companies to do that, man. Big time.
Exactly. I mean, now a game like Streets of Rage 4, I think a smaller third party title like that makes a lot of sense to go to Game Pass. Like, because I've seen people talking, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to come to Game Pass day one. No freaking way. I mean, CD Projekt Red does not need Game Pass to sell that game, so it makes no sense for them. And the amount of money that Microsoft would probably have to pay CD Projekt Red for that to happen would be monumental. It doesn't make sense for either side, right? So no, but something like Streets of Rage 4, smaller, AA to / indie type game makes a lot of sense to be able to do that because Microsoft helps them up front financially, and then on the back end with them being on Game Pass, it helps Microsoft because again, it gives people more incentives to stay as a subscriber. That's why I keep saying the future of gaming, they don't care. Microsoft does not care if you buy a Series X. They care if you subscribe to Game Pass. That's what they want. They don't care if you buy the hardware. Of course, people are going to buy it because not everyone is going to invest the amount of money to build a PC. Not everyone is going to use Project xCloud as the primary way they play a game. So console, of course, still has its place, but now you have options. And being a subscriber obviously makes financial sense for Microsoft, or they wouldn't be doing it. So again, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to know that all these games, I already own them. I already own them until August of 2022. So they have until then to convince me to re-up. And I'm pretty sure they will. I don't see why it wouldn't. So I don't see how this is a bad thing at all for any of the parties involved, us, the gamer, publishers, Microsoft, etc.
Now, what I think too, Paris, and you mentioned this too many times, is when you buy an Xbox Series X, mandatory, in my opinion, 2 or 3 months or even a month of Game Pass available there, like to try out, man, when you buy the system. I think that will be a genius move, because you brought this up, Paris, when we had a phone conversation about it. It's like similar to like when you bought the original Nintendo system and they had Mario Brothers and Dunk Cut, or games when you buy the original Xbox and they had Jet Set Radio and Sega GT available there, bundle. Think of it as a digital bundle, but with Xbox Game Pass available there for that console on day one. So you can say whatever you want. You buy the console for $499, or even the Lockhart Series S. That bundle is going to be available there, man. That's all it matters to me. That's going to be the focus of next generation, is Xbox Game Pass, 100%, man. More than Xbox Live. Because I feel like Microsoft, they already have that audience. This is like their new challenge. How can we get more people and reach up to 90 million, like how it is with Xbox Live? I think they could do it, man, for this generation, big time. Especially for those that don't buy a console, which I'm going to talk about something. One of my other theories that I just remember now. You don't buy the console, you have a phone, you sign up for Xbox Game Pass, you get Project S Cloud included in there, and you play all these games that are available there, man. All you need is a controller that has Bluetooth, and that's it. You're in it, man. Now, again, remember that Microsoft said this is a partner event. We might see the announcement of Xbox and Samsung also, which means all their phones, all the smart TVs, tablets, you could play all these games through their devices. All you need is a controller. I think that's happening too, Paris.
I think it does happen, but I don't think at this event. I think this will be the summer event. Because
you think so? Summer event?
Yeah,
okay.
because you're again, Miss Leo. I do not think. Ooh. I also don't think we'll see Series S here as well. We're going to show you Series X. We're gonna show you third party games. Look how pretty they look, how they run on that. I think they dedicate the quote unquote the big event, the summer event, to all right. Here's because they're not going to talk about price at this event, right? You can't show Series S until you start talking about price, because that's the main selling point of Series S is how much it costs. So I think that's summer. I don't think they fully take Project X Cloud out of quote unquote beta, or at least announce the date when it comes out of beta until the big event, which means if they're going to have the quote unquote xCloud app on every Samsung TV and probably Android TV and iOS and everything else moving forward, they're not going to talk about that until they say, all right, here's Project xCloud coming out of beta. It's a part of Game Pass Ultimate as an example, and you can start using it October 27th, 2020. So I think all that's in the summer.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio. This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Should we talk about our theory to why they're doing the second event in July? If the rumors is true,
yeah,
I think it's more of like, what's up?
It's true.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
All right, all right. I think the reason why that's happening is have the announcement now, create a buzz because there's nothing going on right now, right? And wait until Sony next move. Is Sony's going to announce their price during that stream that they have? Is Sony's going to wait for Microsoft? Microsoft could do this, Paris. They could even push this, and I quote, summer. They could have this event also in August if they want. There's no rules. There is no rules. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they're waiting to see what Sony's going to do. So if Sony announces the console, PlayStation 5, and announce the price of that console, right? that's when the company could actually change the price based on Sony's announcements. And I think that's one of the main reasons. That's one. And two, developers could work on their trailers and all these gameplay footage that they could show on Inside Xbox for the first party stream. And they could show that they're not under pressure like before. There's no E3, so they could show this whenever they want. You know what I'm saying? So Microsoft has been talking about this console for months. And I think I posted this on social media. But if you go back, December of 2019, Phil tweeted about his console, Xbox Series X. He has it at home. He's been testing it, all this stuff. There was people that didn't even believe it. They were like, he's lying. And then a week or two after that, Video Game Awards, they show the console, how it looks. They show a new game. And then every single month after that, Phil was doing an interview. He did it with us, with IGN. Now, I think twice with IGN. And there was another one too, CNBC. So every month, they've been creating a buzz. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to see that, Paris, right after this first Inside Xbox. There's going to be a month or two that is probably going to be kind of dead. And I think Phil is still going to be doing interviews during that time off. And then the big second stream is going to happen after that, man. So what you think about that overall? You like that concept or no? The theory?
I mean, yes, I definitely don't think they're going to wait till August. So to me, that would seem way too late, but it makes sense. And again, I think part of the reason this is happening is these third-party publishers want to start talking about their games. And I'm pretty sure Microsoft does not want Series X gameplay being shown off on Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, which we need to get into as well. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, no, we have our own event. You show it there. Now you're free to start talking about all these games and showing them and doing all that stuff. As far as the PlayStation stuff goes, yeah, of course, this is a competition. This is marketing strategy. If all the rumors point to PlayStation having their full reveal in June, why not? If there's no rules, there's no E3, you can do what you want. So if they can wait, then of course you wait. You wait to see what your competition does first, and then you react accordingly. So again, the wacky theory that we threw out. Again, what if? I'm not saying this is happening. This is just pretend.
What if? Yes.
Let's just say magically PlayStation 5 is $399. Now Microsoft can adjust accordingly and counteract that. All right, we need to have the Series X at this price. We need to have the Series S at this price. Now you can start talking about that. Here's the more realistic one. I think if it's $450, now you say, all right, we can have Series X at $499. We can have Series S at $299. Go accordingly. Now, again, what if Sony can't get PlayStation 5 to $450 and it's $499? I'm telling you right now, Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, all them cats are going to pop some champagne and they're going to celebrate. Because guess what? Series X is going to be $499. There may not even be a Series S because there's no point to having one. So that could happen too. They might be holding off to say Series S is our break glass in case of emergency option for pricing. But if there's no reason to have one, don't do one. That is a realistic thing that could potentially happen. Do I think will happen? No, I do think we're going to get a Series S at this point. Too much smoke. But if there's no marketing competition reason to have a lower price console because your competition and you are priced exactly the same and you have the superior hardware and you have Game Pass and all this other stuff, maybe it doesn't happen. So that's my Miss Leo with all that. So there you go.
Then there you go. Okay, so now I think it's time, Paris, to talk about this Jeff Keighley Summer Game Fest.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what it's called?
Yes.
Let's talk about, because I think the industry is changing, and I know he always been tweeting that for years, that the industry needs to change. It can't be the same old every year, just 1 week, and that's it. And companies have to have booth and all this stuff. He's been saying this for a very long time, and I even think that he kind of promoted in a certain way with Gamescom last year, when they had like the digital event and plus Video Game Awards. And look, Paris, he has the numbers. Look at the Game Awards. Now he could easily say, well, we could do the same exact thing cheaper during the summer. Genius move. E3's in trouble.
Well, I've been saying this to you offline since this announcement. I'm not going to say E3 is dead, but if Jeff Keighley, which if you go read his Reddit AMA, he was planning to do this next year anyways. And COVID just pushed up the timeline to he's doing it now. If this happens next year, why is there an E3? Why would a publisher spend the money to go to an E3? That's the question you have to ask. We'll see. I'm not saying E3's dead. I'm not saying E3's not going to happen. I'm going to say, to me, we're going to see that these digital events work, that they have the same impact as if you had everyone congregating to LA for a week. It's going to be no different. Now you're spreading it out over the summer. You can have specific days for specific games and specific publishers, to where they're not competing for your attention because you're spreading this out over a 3 to 4 month period. I prefer this personally. Look, the only people that lose in this are people that can afford to go to LA and us who go to LA to cover it. And we don't get to all hang out and do all that stuff. The 99.9% of people were watching this from home anyways. So what's different for them? Obviously, going into next year, COVID won't be a thing anymore by the summer, knock on wood. You probably can see more planned out things to where they're having actual stage presentations. The media can be there, but they don't all have to be crammed into 1 week in June. You can do it starting as early as May, as we're seeing now, and end it like Jeff Keighley's doing this year. It'll be digital, but he can end it with the opening night live at Gamescom. He did it last year, when I was there, and it was a fun event. So they could still do that. Gamescom isn't going away, by the way. E3 might, but Gamescom is not. So I like this approach. And what I was joking with you offline is Jeff Keighley's Thanos in this. He was like, fine, I'll do it myself. And he put the glove on. He's like, I'll go do it. And I think, he's been very open. He didn't agree with the ESA strategy, which is why he left before all this happened. And then I Am 8-Bit left. And then all of a sudden they're partnering up together to do the Summer Game Fest. So why not? Jeff Keighley has enough connects. I can't even talk. I'm sorry. He is a powerful enough entity in the game industry that he can pull this off. You better believe he is going to integrate Summer Game Fest, Game Awards, everything into one big year-long celebration thing. I see this evolving as time goes along. This obviously is going to be a rough draft. It's not going to be perfect because we're all at home, COVID and everything, and it's coming together last minute. But I like the idea of it. I like the idea of let's not just talk about games all at once in 1 week, and then we have to scramble, to try and find the information we missed. It's like, no, give Bungie their time, give them their day to talk about the Destiny updates that are coming. Give CD Projekt Red their time to properly talk about Cyberpunk. Give EA or whoever else, Bethesda, their time to talk about their games. We all win in this scenario. I don't see this being bad at all. Unfortunately, the only person that loses in this is the ESA, because it's clear they're not as relevant as they used to be. And the way technology and everything works, we don't have, no rules, Danny. #, no rules.
No rules. No rules.
Do what you want.
All in me.
You do all this on your timeline. And as gamers, we all win. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
So here's phase 1, which is May, from the Summer Game Fest. So it's 2K Games, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Digital Streams, EA, PlayStation, Private Division, Riot Games, Square Enix, Steam, Warner Brothers, and Xbox. Phase 2, there's no list yet, but I think he mentioned it through the Reddit AMA, saying phase 1 refers to publishers. There will be phase 2 with more publishers added. The phase doesn't mean a time period for the event. So, okay, cool. So it might happen that these companies, Paris, might have multiple announcements. So every month we might hear from the same companies from that same list in June, July, and even in August.
Yeah.
That's possible too. Genius move. And think about it. You create a buzz. The buzz doesn't stop. Great for investors because now the investors are looking online to see if people are excited about these products that's been announced. And again, everybody wins, man. ESA is in trouble, man. That's it. They're in trouble, man. Holy crap. All right. So we have fan mail. So we should go with that, right, Paris? Because I know there's questions of a topic that we want to talk about. But
we want to start
but
talking.
Hold on. But let me do an introduction. It's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
Hey guys, I was just sitting here. I've been listening to you guys for a few weeks on these quarantine talks, by the way, I love. With all the Xbox news, I know you guys are looking for Sony news. I thought I'd bring up something that I've been thinking about. I know that you guys were discussing recently in the last podcast I listened to, games that should be on the PS5. I know this sounds crazy, and you may laugh. Little Big Planet 4. No one thinks about Little Big Planet, but personally, that was one of my teenage games. I played it in my teenage years, 13, 14. Absolutely loved it. When they announced it for the PS4, if you go back and watch that, the crowd went wild for Little Big Planet 3. A lot of people love this game. And I feel like, for some people, it would be a big selling point. So, let me know you guys' thoughts. Peace out.
All right. Thank you for that voicemail. Now, to answer his question, I don't disagree with what he's saying. Would love a Little Big Planet 4, but there kind of already is, and it's called Dreams. It's literally from Media Molecule. I mean, that's basically their sequel to Little Big Planet, and that's the beauty of Dreams. If you want a Little Big Planet 4, they didn't want me talking about that one. But if you want a Little Big Planet 4, you can go make it in Dreams. That's what's so awesome about Dreams. And speaking of, I really hope that gets a quote unquote PlayStation 5 upgrade, because I would love to see that creativity, on the next gen consoles, because there's just been some amazing stuff that's been created in Dreams. So shout out to Abby and everyone over there, man. That game is fantastic. So yeah, that would answer your question. Just go play Dreams. You got anything on that, Danny?
Yeah, I think I could see the game coming out in the future launch. No, I could see, like you said, Paris, Dreams available for PlayStation 5, like an upgrade or something, or maybe they do a smart delivery version for Sony. That's possible too. You never know. But yeah, I don't see Little Big Planet launch window. I see this years from now. I can see that coming back. So, and it's not a funny prediction. I think it was a pretty good prediction because nobody's actually talking about it. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So, all right. So let's go with the next voicemail.
All right. I think this is the one I want to play.
Hi, guys. It's Devin from Scotland. Haven't wrote in a while, so I thought I'd drop you guys a line. Hope you guys are all doing okay during the COVID-19 crisis. It seems like it's all that anyone talks about at the moment. So it's kind of a relief to see some really cool news, and I'm really excited over the new announcement from Ubisoft for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'm currently working through Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now, absolutely enjoying every single minute of it. It is such a fantastic game, and I'm just so psyched to see what they're going to do with Valhalla. I know Paris was a big fan of Odyssey, so I'd love to hear what he thinks about the new setting and potential gameplay. And of course, all of you guys, lately with Origins Odyssey, I think the Assassin's Creed engine's hit a really good sweet spot. It's a great combat engine, really, really beautiful worlds. And I just think this is going to be a fantastic game and definitely a Game of the Year candidate if they do everything right. So love to hear what you think about it, and wish you all the very best, and hope your families are safe and well. Talk soon.
And thank you for that voicemail, Devin. Really appreciated that. And yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with everything that he said in that. Just Assassin's Creed Valhalla. obviously long rumored. We knew this was coming. Shout out to Boss Logic. He was able to collaborate with Ubisoft, and he did that long stream where, he was doing the artwork, live on stream, the lead up to the, the cover art reveal. And then obviously we got the teaser trailer the next day, and we know we're going to see gameplay at the Microsoft event on May 7th. So he's right, man. I mean, when you look at since Origins, I was like, wow, this is the closest we've gotten to The Witcher 3, game, obviously since The Witcher came out. Jesus, I cannot talk this morning. I'm sorry, folks. But
it's all good.
Obviously it started with Origins. They went open world, they went RPG, fantastic game. Then Odyssey, which I fully admit, I was extremely skeptical of. I'm like, man, you just came out with Origins. Why are you doing this? Oh, here we go. Ubisoft, rushing another game out. Why are we doing it? Turned out to be even better than Origins. It was fantastic. Loved Odyssey, which to me is the closest we've gotten to The Witcher 3, in my opinion, right? And now I look at Valhalla, the setting, it's Norse mythology, it's Vikings, I believe they said the main character is going to England, right? So it sounds like a lot of it's going to take place there. But again, open world RPG. I mean, this is the Black Flag team that's doing it. This is the team that did Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Ismail, I'm forgetting his first name. He's creative director on this. But Black Flag, he did Origins, and now this team is doing Valhalla. I'm super excited for it. It is absolutely behind Cyberpunk. It's probably my next most anticipated, and then obviously Halo would be after that. But when I look at the 2020 roadmap, it is definitely high up there for me, and I'm excited for it. I really want to say, and I left The Last of Us out because I'm thinking next gen. So sorry, I didn't mean to let The Last of Us out. Hell, I already know what happened, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, game over. Rest in peace.
No, but on the real, it is definitely one of the most anticipated games coming out this year. I'm super excited to see the gameplay reveal that's going to happen on the 7th, and just see what this game's going to be all about. I can tell you right now, I'm going to play the female version for sure. It's funny. I'm clearly leaning that way for a lot of these RPG games where I just like playing the female lead instead of the male lead. Odyssey, clearly the female lead in that, she was fantastic. So looking forward to it on Valhalla as well.
Yeah, that's what happened with me, Paris. Remember we were praising Origins, right? And at E3, we heard about Odyssey. We were like, it's a little bit too early. Like, isn't that rushing it? Like the same exact reaction, right? And then I remember having this conversation with you and Pete because Ubisoft invited me to play the game Odyssey before it came out. And I was there for a couple hours. And again, I picked a female character instead of the male character. And I was so impressed. I was like, oh my God, this is better than Origins. What? And I was convinced. I'm like, yo, this game is going to be dope. The only issue that I have with the game, it is very, very small. It's not something that's going to kill the whole vibe of the game. But I feel like the loving your character took forever in that game. So is it going to be like that similar to for the next Assassin's Creed? It's going to be a lot easier. Are they going to remove the RPG elements in the game? I'm just curious to see how that's going to happen. We'll find out, hopefully, wink, wink, May 7th during the Xbox, inside the Xbox. We'll see if they show like a gameplay footage or anything like that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited about it, man. Super excited. And again, you buy it now, and you could transfer that to Xbox Series X next gen in the future. And so I'm excited to check it out, man. All right. So
agreed.
Anything else from that?
No, I think that's enough for the voicemails. Okay. We can play some later. Shout out to Keon. We got the voicemails, brother, and he was talking about smart delivery at PlayStation, but we can get into that another day, and a few others. It was as my Xbox stuff, which we kind of covered, but we'll play those again. I mean, I think that's it. I mean, I know, like I said, we're gonna live stream the reveal, so we'll be on here watching it live with everyone else. Anyone that's listening or watching now that wants to join us, feel free, and then I'm sure we'll have our reactions and everything afterwards. But it's time to get excited because we're rolling into the next gen of gaming. So it'll be good to see what the next gen is going to look out. How is it going to take these? Because even with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they've already said that the next gen version is taking advantage of the SSD drive for faster loading, more immersion into open world, stuff like that. So I keep saying excited, but that's just what I am right now. I'm excited to see what this is going to look like, man. Really am.
Yeah. By the way, before we end the show, Paris, people were comparing the new Assassin's Creed, and they were saying that Ubisoft copied God of War. You want to talk about that very quick? Because I don't see an issue with that, and I never even thought about it.
Honestly, I wasn't going to bring that up because that nonsense is just reserved for Twitter, where people love to complain about any and everything. Which, by the way, I'm just letting people know right now, as far as Twitter goes, I don't respond to nonsense. I look at it and I mute you. It's just bottom line. If you keep saying nonsense, I love to have an intelligent discussion, but when you just say nonsense, I just mute you and I move on because my opinion is my own. You don't have to agree with it, but attacks and silly stuff is whatever. But anyways, going back to your point. Yeah. No, all that was people were starting to complain. Oh, Ubisoft is just copying God of War. They're just copying God of War. Does God of War have a license on Valhalla, on Thor, on Norse mythology? I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
You can tell other stories inside of that world and inside of that time. It just doesn't have to be God of War. And if you really want to take it back, all of them are copying that Sega Vikings game, right? Aren't they the first ones? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's like saying, Sonic copied from Mario Brothers. Like stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. You could be inspired. I could say this, Paris. Destiny copied from Phantasy Star Online. It's the same exact thing. They just did it in a different way. Inspiration will make creativity a lot better. People will come up with some cool ideas, and I think us as a gamer, that experience is going to be amazing, man. I love Phantasy Star Online. Paris doesn't like it, but he likes a game similar to it, and it's Destiny. You know what I'm trying to say, Paris? Like that. Yep. I think that's the beauty about gaming, that all these developers will be inspired about all these games that they play when they were a kid, or maybe recent, and they'll come up with a better idea and they'll make a better experience for all of us, man. So when people start comparing and all that stuff, I just find that like a waste of like time. You know what I'm saying? Just want to bring that up very quick. I don't want to spend like too much on it, but yeah, man, just that, man. Everybody just have fun, man. Just have fun.
Agreed. Completely agree.
Yeah. All right. So head over to gamertagradio.com. Listen to our past episodes. We've been releasing some great content. Make sure to stream it and binge it if you want. Also, you can find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio and subscribe, follow us, post a review if you can. And if you would like to be part of Fan Mail, here's how you can contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right. So we'll be back here. Remember, Thursday, come here on twitch.tv/gamertagradio. We're going to be watching Inside Xbox live. You can watch our reaction, and after our reaction, we're also going to record a podcast about our opinions and everything, which is going to be available that same day. So I'm excited about it because think about it. This is like E3 mode now, from now to June, right? So we're going to see a lot of more announcements, not only from Microsoft, but also from Sony, from third-party companies. It's going to be an exciting time, man. Super excited. Anything else, Paris, before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So until next time, we're out. Stay safe. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.